Hey y'all, and welcome back to Talk It Out with D&D. I'm your girl, Denise Murray, and of course, I got my amazing co-host with me, Miss Denise Day all day. Tonight, we are talking about something that's got the internet buzzing, y'all. These recent layoffs at Meta, the company behind Facebook, Instagram, and how AI, artificial intelligence, is changing the way folks work. Now, before y'all get nervous, tonight's conversation ain't about robots taking over. It's about how we, as business owners, employees, and everyday people, get ready in the workplace and start changing faster than ever. So grab your drinks, tag a friend, and let's talk it out.
Yes, yes. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go.
Yes. So everyone is excited for this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you start it off, Miss Day.
Okay. Well, now here's something that you hit the nail on the head when you said we're not going to be afraid and it's not about the robots taking over. And I know for myself that me, I'm 62 years young, and back in 2020 when AI was hitting these internet streets, a lot of people were thinking that, oh, the AI, the computer, the robots are going to take our jobs. But the main thing that I was thinking about, because I was just retiring, and what I was thinking about is don't be afraid, but you got to keep up. And so even as you learn as what's going on, don't be afraid. And main thing that was hitting me in the face was I want to work smarter and not harder. And that's what I realized that AI can do for all of us. It can make the workplace, your job, even if it's social, if it's your entrepreneurial adventures, a lot easier. So that's where I was like, squash this fear business. You're going to have to keep up. And I think that's the only way that it will set you down and put you back is if you get afraid and you don't keep up. That's my personal opinion, is that you need to just be aware of what's going on. How can you use this to your advantage? And I know we're going to talk about that today, for now and for in the future. Now, some of these AI stuff that they make in these movies and things, now some of that's some other stuff. But just as far as your work ethic, your work printout, and what you could do forward in your jobs, hey, I think it could be to your advantage.
Right. Now, some of y'all, I just want to give y'all a little backstory on it. Meta is the parent company of both Facebook and Instagram. Now, they just laid off 600 people from their AI department. Now, that's a small change, but they said that doing that, it made their move faster. Listen to what I said. By doing that, they said they're doing this to move faster, make decisions, quicker decisions, to get rid of all the red tape. Now, I have a question for y'all listening. What do y'all think? Do you believe that companies are using AI as an excuse to cut people, or do you think it's just the direction the world's going in? Now, let me know in the chat. Just tell me, do you think, say, put a 1 if you think it's cutting people, and put a 2 if you think it's just going in it's just going in the direction that the world's going in. And the reason why I asked that question is because a lot of people getting nervous. Now, let's think about it. Let's just go back, way back. Now, when they first started off with going to the markets, we would go into, say, like Walmart, or we would go to even CVS, all these different places. And y'all know, they started off with just one of the self-checkout lines, right? Then now, as of today, you see it's not that many registers with people. Now it's more self-checkout lines, and maybe 1 or 2 people working in those different facilities, like the Walmarts and the different places, the supermarkets and all those type of things. So some people are like, well, dang, they getting rid of the people. But then you got to go back and think about, remember when Elon Musk came in and he started talking about those robots. You remember? And then he was
Mhm.
talking about how he was charging $30,000 for those robots, and that's why he was getting the attention of all these corporate people. That's why
Right.
it was so big back then when Trump was going elected and all these big people, because they was thinking about it. They like, hey, if I can pay $30,000 for a robot that can pretty much do everything that I hire people to do. This is a one-time payment that I'm paying for this robot to do all of these tasks. Whereas though if I
Mhm.
pay somebody to do these tasks, I have to pay them and continuously pay them. And then
Mhm.
I have to give them raises. I have to pay benefits. I have to do all these
Continue.
different things. So it's
Mhm.
like now, if I have this AI trained, I don't have to do that. So I'm saying, so he's looking at it like, I'm saving your company money. I'm letting you keep continuing to be rich. I'm letting you keep your money in your pocket, And so that's
The
what
greedy
people was like
spirit.
about
Mhm.
that, right? And so that's
Mhm.
why people were scared and like they cutting out the people. However, let me put that big however in there. The people who get in on top of AI now, because think about it, like they say, 2030, AI is going to be 90% of the world. 90%.
Mhm.
So if you're
Mhm.
not learning AI now and utilizing it, you could be like those people, those 600 people who just got let go from working, if you're not being able to produce and being able to do things that can help, like be able to do your job in that AI field. So let's talk
Right.
about that. Like, what you think about that?
Well, now that you brought that up, I see it. I see it as being twofold
Mm,
because I absolutely believe that this corporate, those 2% that run this money, okay, they
right.
have a greedy spirit upon them. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that the greedy spirit is about the Amazons and the Metas of the world and those few that have control over all of this. It is greed. I
Mm,
believe that's where they would replace workers because everything you were naming, if I could pay 30,000 and buy one robot, I don't
mm,
have to pay sick leave, I don't have to give personal days. I can just I can abuse the robot, make the robot do whatever it wants to do, but you can't do that to the people, right?
right.
So I believe that that is real. But
Mm,
that is also okay. That's one fold. The
mhm,
other fold is that's why we all need another source of income. I would not, if I was still in this workplace right now, if I could rewind the clock, take me back from 62 to 42 to 22, there is no way in the world I would depend on a single job. And
mm,
I was working for the federal government. Do you see how they're gutting the government?
right.
So, with all of that being said, courses and teachers like yourself that's going to be bringing forth AI coursework and
Mhm,
showing people how to utilize AI and make it work for you. That's the future to me. That's
mm.
what everybody. Let me calm down because see, I be getting right. Everybody. And when I say everybody, the parents and the children need to be on board with talking about and thinking about what is your next source of income. What is it that you can train, use, or that you know that you can put AI in place to be able to produce that working smarter, not harder?
Mhm,
Because that's where the power is going to come. Not being afraid, not sitting back here talking about, oh my, they and what you said about them lines at the grocery store, that is
mhm,
the primary thing. When we go to the grocery store, sometimes my husband like to go to self-checkout because he know the people that work there and he say hey to them and they chatting it up. When I see a line with a person in it, that's the line I'm getting in. You're not
mm,
gonna charge me and make me ring myself up. I'm not
right.
doing it. And then when Walmart had the audacity to talk about, we're going to charge you a fee to be in this checkout line. We're going
Mm.
to charge you every month to check yourself out. The devil is a lie. I'm going to give y'all another dollar to make me check myself out. You a
Right.
lying wonder. I ain't going to do none of it. No. But that's their mentality though, that we are so brainwashed that they'll roll anything out on us and we supposed to just go with it. No, let's make this work for us. Let's think
Mhm.
about what we can sell to make money and how we can make it work better, make work less harder for ourselves, but be productive. And that's what I see. But they are
Mm.
greedy. You almost said bastards, but that's what they are. They just greedy, and they every dime out of us and make us pay for it. I live around the corner from an Amazon hub. Oh, they all into it. And they got the systems worked out, but that's what we need to do now. That's
Mm.
what we shall be doing. And that's what it is, because there's no going back. You know that term, you can't put the genie back in
Right.
the bottle. You can't put this back in the bottle, honey. They go with it until the Lord
Right.
come and shut it all down. But in the meantime, we got to make our own monies and get you another source of income and utilize AI to your benefit. That's
Mm.
my thoughts.
Now, then that's real. And like I said, now this the backpack on that, because see, layoffs, they aren't just about Meta. They're a reminder, just like you just said, and you just hit. I mean, you really just spoke value, because just like you just said, that is also a reminder that nobody's job is 100% secure. So when people are sitting back, they need to think about that, because no job is 100% secure. The real
Mm,
skill now is being flexible, learning new tools, and finding ways to make yourself valuable no matter what field you're in. So that
mhm,
is what a lot of people need to think about when it comes to feeling like, because before everybody felt like, because I remember not this, even within myself, I remember even with stepping out, trying to go on my own, I pushed back for a while. And the reason why I pushed back so much was because of the fact that I was fearful. I was so secure with having my job that I was like, I do this on the side, and I was scared to walk away at first because I was just always so hype about my job. You know what I mean? So it was
mhm,
just like, I know I'm getting this money from here. I know this is paying my insurance, you know? So it was like, that was my fear. So it was like, I need my insurance. I need my money. I'll do my business on the side. However, the key word was I kept doing my business on the side. And so that's
mhm,
what some people are not doing. They're focusing 100% into their job. And then when it comes down to it, and let's just say you get eliminated from your job, or your job is no longer there, you get laid off, you get furloughed, whatever happens, they shut it down, they close the doors. Then you're in a situation where now you're at zero income because you had nothing else going on until you can find something else to go into. And then you keep building that same cycle of going from here, going from there. And that was one of the things that pushed me, like I said, because remember, I told you my story back then on when I moved to Georgia, how I kept having going through those different layoffs and different things like that. And I'm like,
mhm,
however, once I started having something of my own, it was like, okay, I went through that.
mhm.
Okay, I'm going through, but it made me stay focused, and it made me keep putting that hard work in, because I'm like, if God forbid something else happened, I have a backup plan now. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't have. And that backup plan should be you. It shouldn't have to be from somebody else, because we don't want to depend on nobody else to take care of our bills, because none of these people care if you get furloughed. If the electric company, you can't call them and be like, oh, the government shut down, I can't pay y'all. They're going to be like, well, you ain't got no electric. You can't call the water company, the mortgage company, the rental office, none of these people, and say, you ain't got it, and they just kind of go with it. You still got to pay these bills.
Exactly. And
So what do you say when it
if anything, the what I would be saying, the only thing that I would be fearing other than God would be not having a backup plan, not having another stream of income. Because, like I say, you know
right?
the age I am. I did 32 years in the federal government, and I retired. Thank God, got out of there at 57 during 2020, right before the pandemic. But there was a
Mm,
time in this country where you could bank on your government job. where you, even
Mhm.
if they had periodic furloughs, because I know I went through 2 or 3 of them. I remember
Mhm.
the one when Obama was in, and even we were out for 2, 3 weeks, but they paid us back. They gave us our back pay. Then there was another one, I think, during somebody's administration, they didn't give us our back money. You just
Mhm.
lost that money. But then now, when I see what is happening now, where they are literally gutting the federal government, right? They are
Mhm.
gutting it. So that's not even a safe zone for you anymore, right? And
Mhm.
then they wanted to lay it out, talking about it was DEI and all the black women was getting the money, and it's about the black folks. That's a lie from the pit of hell, because the 30 years I was in, honey, the DEI was with the white women and their friends.
Right.
Keep it a buck. It was getting your family and friends in there, promoting them, and the rest of us, you better know how to fight, be in there swinging haymakers to keep your promotions and keep your money. But now none of
Mhm.
that is safe. They said there was over 300,000. I ain't just making this a black and white thing. This
Mhm.
everybody's job. But
Right.
right now, this last year, 300,000 women of color lost their
Mhm.
positions. I cannot
Wow.
even imagine working all of your life and then
Mhm.
somebody just come in and tell you you are fired. You're
Right.
done. They're not
Mhm.
getting their pensions. The
Mhm.
hell? So,
Yeah.
like I say, keep it not just that's government supposed to be secure. Imagine
Mhm.
every other job out here that's a basic necessity. That's a job of service. It ain't that the government the only good job. There were jobs out here once upon a time where you
Mhm.
had a pension, where you're doing jobs of service out here in Vegas. They are shutting down like nobody's business, laying
Mhm.
everybody off. MGM got all the money, but they going under with these billion-dollar hotels. They're laying people off with
Wow.
no back. No, people don't even have a plan in place. And that's my thing, is that if the government is not secure, do you think private industry is?
Mhm.
That these private billionaires, they don't care that if they can automate you out of it, they will. But this is not a time to be fearful. This is
Mhm.
a time to be aggressive and get a plan in play and support yourself. Think about, what is the thing that I do best that somebody will pay me for my service.
Mhm.
To me, that's the plan now.
Right. Now let me ask y'all a question. If your job suddenly introduced AI tomorrow, would you be excited? Would you be nervous or ready to learn it? Drop that answer in the chat. Just let me know if you would be excited about AI, would you be nervous about it, or would you be ready to learn? That is a question I want to ask y'all. So go ahead and put that in the chat and let me know what y'all think about, what y'all feel about that. Because I know some people, like I say, some people do panic when it comes to these type of things because people are leaving and losing their jobs and different things. So you have those people who will panic, but then you have those people who would be a little nervous, but they like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and learn this and make this part of my new routine, put this in motion so I can be able to utilize this. So y'all go ahead, put that in the chat and let me know what y'all think about that. Now, here's the truth, y'all. Every layout comes with an opportunity. So I want y'all to understand that just because there's a layoff or a furlough or something, just think about it. Is everything come I always say everything happens for a reason. Like, I just believe that. That's just my feelings all the time. I always believe everything happens for a reason. So with your layoffs, with your furloughs, with all of that, it's, to me, it can be an opportunity because some people see the door closed while others see the chance to open their own business. So when you have those doors closing, you can say, okay, what is it? Because to me, I feel like the strongest hustler is the person, to me, a lot of times, they got their back against the wall. And the reason why I say that is because if I'm sitting home and let's just say I don't have a check coming from nowhere. I'm not sitting here getting a social security check. I'm not getting a welfare check. I'm not getting a child support check. I'm not getting none of these checks from nowhere. So right now, if I'm working my business and I have a business, I'm going to go hard on my business. And so I'm going to push it out because this is how I have to pay my bills. So I can't fall slow to what's going on. Whereas though sometimes people get comfortable with a check coming in and they be like, oh, I have this social security check. or I got this disability check, or I got, this child support check and things like that. And I see, especially them child support checks, that's the thing that be killing me, because I see so many of these women, and these would be women that be dealing with these ballers, these celebrities and stuff, and they be having these kids and they living off these child support checks. And then when the kid get grown, they sit in here and talk about they homeless. And I'm just like, but they getting $30,000 and $40,000, and I'm just like, now I know it don't take that much to raise no kid, but I'm just like, so what is you really doing with that money? But I'm like, at that point, instead of buying these $5,000 pocketbooks and these red bottom shoes and all this kind of stuff, that's when it comes to investing in yourself so you can have something going to the future. Because some people, I'm just saying, I ain't trying to throw nobody under the bus or nothing, but some people just be doing the most. And I be sitting here and I'm watching these reality TV shows and watching these girls sitting here, and it's like, for me, and I hate to say it, I don't have no sympathy for these type of women when they sitting here. Oh my God, I had to live in my car. I don't have no more money. $18,000 is not coming in. Girl, if I had $18,000 coming in every night with my child, I would be living good, still having a job, and you sitting here crying. I was like, Lord, when I was listening, I was watching, matter of fact, prime example, just, what was it, 2 weeks ago? I was looking at the thing with Marlon Wayans. And that happened with his woman that he got pregnant. And she's on there with all this drama and she's getting all these thousands of dollars. And her baby is one. And she talking about she don't have enough money to survive.
Yikes. And some of them are willing to go to jail before they pay you.
I just be like, when, and I'll be sitting here, and sometimes I get mad, not just at the women, sometimes I get mad at the men. Because my thing is, y'all should see these type of women coming into your life. Like, my thing is, you see this chick ain't got no hustle to her, ain't trying to do something, and always got her hand out, or, just worrying about looking cute all the time, and you go in her house, and she ain't got nothing up in there, you laying on the floor on a mattress, or she just got a messy place, she nasty. That's when you need to start rethinking who you dealing with. If you going over there and you like, no, I don't want to come, you come over my house. If you got to make that decision because of how her house look, that's one of the examples you need to say, okay, I need to go over to the left and stop chasing down people because of how they look. You need to start chasing down people because of what they thinking as well and how their mindset is, because y'all keep looking at the outside and not looking at them insides, and them outsides going, hey, what's that song say? What's the BBD with the big booty and the can't trust a big butt in this wild. That girl is poison. That is what you're looking at. We ain't gonna do that this time. We about to go into 2026, and I want all of y'all men, if y'all listening right now, to put y'all hands up and say, I'm never going to trust a big butt and smile. That girl is poison.
It's the same way for you women. You can't trust everybody. You cannot stand up with everybody. This is the real times now. It's gonna get rough. But can I share something else that I am overwhelmed with, that I have been looking at here on the last few days on this YouTube? Is seeing people crashing out because they're taking their EBT, their food stamps, and everything. And I don't believe that if you really have a need for food, that your food source ought to be taken like that. But at some point, again, we cannot depend on this government. They do not care. And even when they shut the government down, look at my thing even when they shut the government down, they should not get, if they're going to furlough the government and shut the government down, Congress nor the Senate should be getting paid. Should nobody get paid? Exactly. If we take all the pay off the table, everybody will not have a check. But then I see all these women. So far, I saw a couple of guys, but the majority of women crashing out, talking about it's the taxpayer's responsibility to feed your children. And that is a lie from the pit of hell as well, because
Mm,
that's not true. I mean, you gotta do your resources. And one of them was on there talking trash. They say one of them was rage baiting is what they call it, just trying to get views with this foolishness. But another one, she was getting $1,500 worth of food stamps. I didn't know they gave out food stamps in that quantity.
mm,
1,500 thousands of dollars in food stamps, but she had 8, 9 kids. Well, you
uh,
got to get a plan, ma'am. You need to be doing a plan about motherhood, about how to raise them, how to do something. But that's just my thing. Please get off of this internet doing with all of this foolishness and talk about you gonna rush up into Walmart and you finna steal some food. Do you know that they track the internet?
mm.
They're watching this.
Posted a live saying that?
Oh yeah, this one girl
Oh
supposed to
wow,
be live. She gonna go up in Walmart and get a buggy and the same stuff she been getting, and she gonna take it. And
wow,
she dare anybody to try to stop her. Her cousin's gonna be with her, and her cousin will punch you in the face if you trying to stop them. Yeah, and they got a jail cell they want to put you in too. They have a pay
wow,
for go jails. Those are privatized as well. They want all of y'all in them privatized jails that think you finna loot these stores. Okay, they waiting on you.
wow.
From all of y'all that they let out from the pandemic, they ready to put you right back in there. That's what
Mm,
some people say. That's why they doing this. Because we didn't go out there marching and a stumping. So you
mm,
take food and you take housing, throw you out your housing and take your food, or they think they're gonna get you back out there to the streets. But I
right,
just need people to stop that
right.
and pray about it, be resourceful. This is
Mm-hmm,
the time to start something that can be sustainable for you and your children. But it's
right.
not our responsibility to feed your kids. I don't know
Mm.
who told you that lie, but let's do something better than this. Yeah.
Yeah, and I say this, I say, and this is no dig at anyone.
No shade. My mama had food
Like,
stamps.
no, this is no dig at anyone with multiple children, because there are some people who've been in situations, and different things have happened, and you could have been in a marriage or whatever, and now you don't have the
Yes.
help, and so for those people, I understand, but for the ones who are just like abusing the system, that's when it becomes a thing, and that's why
Mhm.
they're doing things. But honestly, for me, I haven't really been looking at that point of view of it lately. My point of view, honestly, recently, when it comes to that topic, has been we're about to come up on these mid elections in November, and I feel like all of this is to kind of swipe away with, because if you notice, and I don't know if it's just me, but if you notice, we have not been seeing, before you used to see all these celebrities promoting, and then you see all the people promoting when election time is getting ready to come up.
Mhm.
You notice
Mhm.
you ain't been seeing a lot of that this time around.
Mhm.
The House and the Senate is up. If
Yeah.
the people are coming out to vote this election coming up, right now, if Democrats wanted to take back over the House and the Senate, you would think that you would see more of that, so people can come out to vote for that because they want to
Mhm.
take over that, because they're like, okay, I can't take no more what Trump's have going on for the people who
Right.
don't want this, but I'm not seeing that. So
No.
it makes you wonder what really is going on. Is this a thing that is it really a Republican Democrat thing, or is this really something that's just going on and everybody is in of government is all in on it, and
I,
they
and,
just try to keep it, you know what I mean? Like it's something like we're having all these things, you know what I mean? To me, I feel like there's a lot of things going on. Like there was that Epstein file. Like that man is good and dead now. Like that man's dead now. However, the Epstein files is there.
and
However, been talking
pedophile.
about files forever, but because number one, we seen whose names was on it, and one of the names was Trump. So if this information was to come out, and because of most of these politicians or most of these people who are billionaires and all those type of things that's on this thing that has molested children, that's why it's not coming out. And it's like we need to stay in power. because if we
Exactly.
change hands, this can come out.
Day one.
We don't want this scrutiny
Mm-hmm.
for us to start looking any kind of way because of who these people are. Because you're talking about people that got money. And when people
Right.
got
And
money,
they run it. That's the 2%.
it,
That is so true. But and then what I see right now is that it shouldn't even be about red and blue, baby. It's about living or dead. But they try to kill us graveyard dead. They try to take everything that you've ever had. And it ain't even about red and blue no more. But I hope that the people have come to that conclusion. For everybody that chose not to even vote, because a lot of times, like you say, elections are rigged. They can be rigged if it was then, if it was that. But then if you didn't even take time to exercise your rights,
mm-hmm.
then you know what I mean? That's why we in this mess too. But you make a very valid point. But the 2% that run this nation, they don't want that door open. They trying to block that door with all they have.
You don't see it going on. And then it's like you have to think about these things. And that's why we go back to what we're talking about. When Elon Musk came in the door, right? He talked about these
And
robots.
waste and abuse.
He talked about the robots. He talked about unlimited money. He was trying to take away Social Security and all these different things. But again, he can't take that away because this is how you have a lot of people who live off of Social Security. So that is something that people have been having to pay out of their paychecks from the beginning of time. So you can't take away Social Security and Medicaid, which he thought he could. But again, we're talking about people who are billionaires. We talking about billionaire people, millionaire people that have these mindsets of business. Yes, they have those mindsets of business. However, they are not politicians. So just like our president, he's not a politician. He's a businessman. So when you're having business, right, he's that too. However, but he's still a businessman and he was able to do certain things when it comes to business. And then you got to look at it. What he has is something that a lot of people want, and that's power. You see what I'm saying? When you have that much power, you ever remember the movie Malcolm X? When Denzel Washington came to the hospital and he put his hand up and the cop was like, and did the thing, and the cop was like, there's no man should have that much power. Right now, this man has the power. So
and got people under his thumb.
That's why
I'm hoping that those people are waking up.
So scared. People are fearful. People, just think about it. We're not even thinking about big people, millionaires, billionaires, whatever. Let's just think about small people. Let's talk about going to your everyday job. When you have that everyday job and you know you got to pay your bills and you got kids at home and you have, you got things to do. You know, your boss may say some slick stuff out her mouth. Your employee may do something slick at work. But what you going to do? You may ignore it or not, or try to fall back from it, all because of the fact that you don't want to lose your job. And you like, I can't see certain things or I can't do certain things because of the fact that I don't want to lose my job. And so these people who are in this office, you have a lot of people who may not agree. They may be fearful of, because he's good with, just like on his TV show, you're fired. They scared because of how he's letting people go left and right, that they're going to get fired. So when you're fearful of that, and just like I said, when you're fearful of those type of things, you will do. Some people are going to do certain things because they don't want to lose certain things. And you have a lot of people in the world today who they making six figures plus. But however, one of the things that we all have to learn in life is that even though you make more money and you get more money, just like I tell people when they start getting, even with a job, you get a bonus, you get a raise. However, you don't want to live above your means when you get that more money, because if you start going out here and what a lot of them would do, even these celebrities and some of them, and then you'll have them where they go out there buying these $1 million homes and different things like that. That's why I dig Candy. Like a lot of people talk about her in a lot of ways, but I'm like, I dig her from Escape and the Housewives or whatever. And the reason why I dig her so much is because she took a house that wasn't that expensive, took her time and fixed it up and paid for it.
Yeah. And paid for it.
And that's why I say a lot of times what happens is we have so much people I see people who get these refunds at tax time. And the first thing they do, and it's so crazy, the first thing people want to do when they get their tax money
Go
is go
shopping.
shopping or go on a vacation. So that's why when I be talking to people about the travel, I'm like, you booking a trip anyway. Why not get paid for what you already booking it? So why not get a return on your investment if you already doing something? If you're doing something, that's why I'm like, mindset is so important, because if you're doing something, you want to have a return on the things that you're doing. So if you know you're
Yeah.
going to be traveling somewhere all the time, you know you're going to be catching a flight, booking a hotel room, you know that's something you're going to do. Why not make that something that you can actually get a return on and put that money back into your pocket once you come back home? And not only that, why not use that so you can have those write-offs at tax time? That's what I
Sustainable, a business.
like having that mental check for yourself. But some people will take that money and you will see them outside buying Jordans, outside buying $500 weaves and all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, okay, you look cute, but then what? What comes
Mm,
after that? Let's talk about the other, it's like we gotta do better. You know what I mean? And that's what a
we
lot of times
do.
is happening. And so then when we get in these jams, it's like, okay, we just did all that. Now what? Now what do we
Oh,
have to look?
you are making good sense. And when you were talking about a lot of times when people be fearful and not speaking up, it reminds me of Kwame Brown when he was going in on people, call it the go along to get along game.
Mhm.
When you just going along to get along because you're fearful to say anything. But
Mhm.
like you said, right now is not that time to just be in the go along, get along. We
Right.
got to start thinking and being mentally prepared, if not only for right now, because that's what I shared in LB today. It's
Mhm.
not about legacy down the road, it's about legacy today. You
Right.
got to be building the legacy today about what is it going to be. And
Mm.
that's where we got to go right now. And
Right.
it's
And that's why I
no
tell people, what's one skill? And I want y'all to put this in the chat if you can. What's one skill or idea that you've been sitting on that you know you can make some money or that can give you some freedom, but you just haven't started it yet? What's one thing? It ain't even got to be, like I said, one thing I was saying was travel, because I know a lot of people travel, but let's just say you're a person who make t-shirts. Let's say you're a person who like to make meals and you put like the what you do with the cookbooks and all of that type of stuff.
ebook,
You better fact,
ebook.
let's just say you're a person who just love putting on makeup, getting your nails done. All these little things that you like. These are all things that you can turn it into an income. So it doesn't have to, if you like to cook, you know how many people I see on social media cooking and making money,
Cooking and then create the cookbook, an ebook.
cleaning.
Oh God.
And
And
I
wait,
mean,
let me
there's
share
so
this.
many things.
Let me
Watching.
share this. Sis, it's so many wonderful ideas. That's what we're gonna come back on. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do a whole nother about the things they are to be doing, right? But
Right.
here's one thing that I remember back in the day when I was trying to help this young lady and share with her about the t-shirt business, but it was about doing it via drop shipping, right? To
Mhm.
where you don't have to fill up your garage with the products. You don't
Right.
have to put all the stuff in your house. Drop shipping, somebody else is shipping and printing that from the other side. But
Mhm.
people think that they need to go buy the hot printing press and we
Mhm.
got to go get this and it's going to cost money to buy the machine. No, let's work smarter and not
Not harder.
harder. So
Exactly.
that's what we gonna do this. We're
Mhm.
gonna teach them about doing the thing and doing it well and doing it with just the knowledge and doing it with quality. I just did these nails today. I
Mhm.
pressed these
Those are
on.
cute.
Come on, I got these in my Amazon store. These nails cost $6.99. I'm not
Hmm.
paying nobody 120 to do my nails. If I was a young person, I would be a mobile nail tech. I could
Mm.
come to your house and press your nails on. We could chat it up. It'd be about 20 minutes. And you do it for 2 weeks. These
Right.
will stay on for 2 weeks and get you some glue. And I'll show you where to go get it and go get it out of my store. They can buy it from you. That's another commission. Besides, they paid you to do it.
Right.
We
And
we
that's
gonna
why I
get
said, And that's what I'm talking about. It's the thinking smarter. That's the thing. And this,
Smart
like what
enough.
we talked about this AI. So just to
Yes.
be practical with it, here's how you stay ready in this world of AI and change. Learn it. Learn these AI tools. I'm actually going to start putting out, like, a lot of people been asking me about different videos and stuff that I've been putting out recently. I'm going to actually start something free. I did like a sample one just the other day, just for people I knew that needed it for travel, because they have their travel business. I was like, let me show y'all some things. But I'm actually going to go in and start showing people how to do the little things, like how I took, if you on my page, you see I have avatars. All I did was take a picture of myself, put it in Gemini, and turn myself into a cartoon character. And then I go to Pinterest, look on Pinterest, and I find the little clippings that have outfits. And all the outfits that's there, I just take pictures of the outfits, take that same picture, put it in Gemini, and tell that Gemini to put that outfit on me. Now I am in the outfit that I saw on Pinterest, and then I take that
Super
same
cute.
avatar picture, put it in Hey Jen, and I put my script in there to say what I wanted to say. And who I get to help me with my script? Chat GPT. Help me with my script to talk about X, Y, and Z. And there goes the video. That is how simple AI can be when it comes to helping you with your business. It can help you with your brand. I'm even practicing and learning new things with it every single day. I've working on creating my own GPT, because I truly want to help people when it comes to taxes and bookkeeping and all of those things that's accounting related. I want it to be where you can put things in and be able to get things out of it where it's so simple. So you're not having to pay as much money. But again, what are we using? AI. So I want y'all to think about this when it comes to these AI things that's out here. Don't get upset, because honestly, you can get upset all you want. However, it's not going nowhere. It's growing and more each day. About 2030, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be about 90% AI. It's going to be that's it. You need to make it a business, a side, build something that your business, a side hustle, make it into your brand. But some kind of way, you're going to have something going on, because even with me, I started paying and taking classes for it because of the fact that I'm always super, super busy. I'm working night and day. So I'm like, okay, AI is out here shortening time. What can I learn from AI to help me shorten my time? One of the things that I've learned so far, and matter of fact, I learned this in our group with Nikki, like how we can go in Canva, you can go through Chat GPT, and you can make 30 days worth of content for your page in Canva off of 3 clicks. And literally, that's how I'll be able to get my little quotes and things for the day off of 3 little quicks for 30 days. So it's so much stuff that you can really use to help you, and even to stay consistent with it when it comes to, it's just all about setting against that time. And honestly, if we sit here and we can watch a reality TV show, we can watch we can do all this stuff. We can go to the party, we can go to the club, we can do all of these things, sit on the phone and talk to somebody about nothing that's going to grow your business, nothing that's going to help you in the future. You can do all this chatting, but yet and still, what's the word? Chat GPT, but you're doing chatting. So let's chat to Chat GPT and let's help ourselves grow. That's where you need to be chatting. You feel me? So that's why I say just keep
Absolutely.
learning. The world, it just won't, it's not, the world ain't, it ain't gonna stop. It's going, you just got to
It's
keep
not
going and
going
catching up,
backwards.
because it's not gonna stop. It's not.
It is not
So you
going
gotta be on
backwards.
board. Just to, like, one of the things Nikki showed. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all one thing that Nikki showed us once, and this is how I was like, "This is cool as ever." And I'm gonna let me do this.
This is so good. And if
Click
I'm
on
in
my
my
phone.
60s
So
and can do it,
look,
I know y'all can do it.
right, exactly. No matter how old you are, shucks, the kids is doing these, and they 2 and 3 years old. Listen, okay, I'm gonna say this. Hey, can you tell me how to put like this 5 days worth of content together. I have an accounting business, and my background. I deal with accounting and travel. And I wanted to have 5 days worth of content that I can really put together. How can you just help me out with that?
Absolutely. Let's get you a nice 5-day content plan that mixes your accounting expertise and your travel business side. We can definitely blend them in a way that feels cohesive. Day one, morning inspiration. Share a motivational post about the freedom of being both a business owner and a traveler. For example, today's motivation, the best part of running your own business, you can take it anywhere, whether it's balancing books or booking flights, you're in charge. Afternoon, education, plus call to action. Post a quick accounting tip, maybe a tax saving tip that ties into travel deductions. And with a call to action like, want to know how your business trips can save you money on taxes? Book a free consultation. An evening community engagement. Share a behind-the-scenes story of a client who used both your accounting and travel advice. Ask your audience a question at the end to engage them, like, have you ever thought about renting your business from a beach? Tell me where you go. Day two.
Now I'm gonna stop it there, because I just wanted y'all to get a little feel of how easy it is. And this man is talking to me. He is talking to me. And not only did he talk to me, once I hit the button and finish listening to him, it will show the words of everything he just said.
All the text.
And that was literally within a couple sentences. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm telling people it's not hard. AI is not hard at all. It's just about getting on board with it, because really this is the way the world is going, and it's going to keep going and keep going. Why do y'all think Elon Musk got quiet? Y'all saw all the drama that was going on, and he just like, okay. His numbers went down, and guess what he did? He said, let me go back to what I know, AI. What did he do in less than 30 days? Opened up his diner, his AI freaking diner, where all the stuff with the robot giving the meals and all of this kind of, listen. And his numbers shot right back up to where he was going before and pass it. That's what I'm talking about. We got to think like these millionaires be thinking, and these billionaires be thinking. We got to utilize these things that can help us grow.
We have to
be fearful. We have to grow. We have to level up. We have to step up our game. We need to teach our kids. Like, I know my child sometimes she's like, oh my God, I don't want to hear about AI stuff. But I'm telling y'all, like, she say that now, but I always say, and this is just from me, because I knew I was that hot-headed child at one point, where I was like, I remember being that one where couldn't nobody tell me certain things, and that one where I was like, okay, you telling me about going. I'll never forget a time where I'm sitting there, my brother kept telling me, oh, you need to go back to school, and I'm looking at him like, I'm good. I'm making a certain amount of money. I'm okay. And I'm thinking I'm doing good because I'm making over 40,000. I'm like, I'm all right. And at that time, I felt like it was all good. Looking at 40,000 now, the way prices is going up, 40,000 ain't doing nothing. So I wouldn't have went back to school, and I wound up moving to Georgia, and I'm trying to find a job doing the same stuff that I was doing, and they want me to have a degree. So now, by me being high-headed, like, I ain't going back to school. Then what I had to do? Go back to school. And so that's when I wound up having to get my degree in order to continue doing what I was already doing. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, sometimes we have to just think about certain things when when it comes to certain things, because sometimes, and that's why I say our kids may not listen to us now. They may not pay attention to us. But at the end of the day, when you keep hearing something, like I hear him, like I may hear, like he may have said that a long time ago. He was saying this when I was 19, 20, 21. You see what I'm saying? I'm now 46. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, all this, he was saying this long ago, but because he said it to me, I still remember it. And that's why I'm like, we need to start doing these things, like saying certain things to our kids, even though they may not listen right now, they may be teen, whatever, still say it. Because later on, when they get that aha moment, they're going to be like, damn, my mom said that, or my dad said that, or my auntie said that to me, my cousin said that to me. Yeah, they still keep trying to let these people grow, because at the end of the day, they hear us. They hear our voices.
But you know what, Nisi, you made a very good point just now, because like you say, even from back then, within your generation, thinking about that, getting that education, because I know even within the government, sometimes you could even apply for a position unless you had that particular degree, right? And then within this generation now, I was kind of like, dang, even if I was a young person now, I would not get caught up in the debt of a degree now because it's so expensive. When my
Right.
nephews went to Morehouse, my sister twin boys, and this was some years ago, this was about 10, 15 years ago, they graduated out of Morehouse College down there in Atlanta with $100,000 debt each, right? So imagine what that same degree would cost now.
Right.
But again, bringing this back to AI, a lot of things now AI can teach you, show you,
Don't even
assist
need
you
to
with
agree.
that you don't even need that
Don't even
degree
agree.
for.
And that's why I talked to my daughter about when she was going to school. I'll tell you, I was on her when she first started applying for college. I told her straight up, I said, if you're not going to school to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an accountant, you don't need college. Because all that is a debt that is going. Look at Obama. Remember when he came in office, he was just getting his debt cleared. So that's why I said, if you're not, because those are the only jobs there, a doctor, a lawyer, and an accountant. Those are the only three jobs that you have to have a degree for. You have to have that paperwork for those, doctor, lawyer, and accountant. Anything other than that, you can get a certificate and pay way less money or learn it on freaking line.
Online. And then right now, can you imagine? Because it's to me, that's the other great setup.
Right.
From the 2%.
YouTube TV, YouTube education.
I'm a YouTube University graduate. Yes, I am. I graduated, girl, at 58. Come on now, and been going back ever since. Be up in there every week.
Right.
Well, I'm telling you, that is real, because this business, this is not, we laughing, but this real. If they can keep you bogged down in debt, they got you by the throat. And that is the reality of it all. I got a very good girlfriend. Her debt just got cleared. She's 62 years old. And her student loan debt just got cleared.
Look at me. I had student loan debt all this time, right? Biden came in, put the program in. My student loan was gone. Within 30 days, my daughter is in college. I have to be the one to be the person. And that's another thing I don't like too. I don't feel like that it should be the parents' responsibility, which they changed, because we did not have to do that back in the day. When I went to school, I had to pay my own student loans for me to go to school. Now they're forcing parents to pay for their children's education. So it's like now, if you have a child going to college, you got to be the one to put your name on that paperwork and say that you're signing for that, unless the only way you can get out of that is if your child is married, has a kid, or going into the military, or they actually do what the lady told me, they have to do a what's the word, where they basically say that you're no, what's the thing when they say they not your kid, like not your kid, but where they say they have to basically do that paper to say that they are taking care of themselves. You actually have to go to court for that. They like basically
when they're gonna be I know what you're talking about.
Word, yes, that's whatever that word, I forgot what the word is. I can't think of it right now, because they said that we would have to have gone to court for her to basically almost like a divorce. They're basically saying like I'm not connected to her.
Indisputable, but you know what I'm talking about.
If anybody know what word it is, put it in the chat, because I cannot think of the word of it. And I was like, what? I'm going to court, and I would have to go through that whole, like me and her would have to go, basically her saying like she don't have no kind of, like she's not getting no
rights. They give their parental rights
completely on her own. She's paying for everything. That's the only, I'm giving up all of that, and she can't have no connection to me. She's on her own. That's the only way that she would be able to take care of her own stuff. Other than that, I have to have my name on there until she turns 24 years old. And what is the age that most kids are finished with their 4-year degree? 24 years.
But that is so true. But even back then, When my nephews went to Morehouse, my sister had to sign on them loans for them. And then
Miss
they
Cassandra,
graduated.
Miss Franklin, she said it's called emancipated. That's what it is.
Emancipation. That's it.
I was just like, I said, I couldn't believe that I would have to go through all of that to not have my name basically saying that I'm not doing nothing for this child. You know what I mean?
Well,
I'm just like, for me to not, and then my cousin was even talking about it because she has her daughter who went to school. She pay all this money, and then if she don't go to school no more, that's on her. So it's just like, to me, I just
oh
don't
my
think that's fair.
God.
I feel like they should change the laws when it comes to that. If you want to go to school, you got to be responsible for that. You know what I mean? I don't feel like that should be our responsibility, but that's just my personal
That is
take on
crazy.
that. I feel
That's
like,
true.
but
That's
thank
true.
God, my child, I have to say, thank God that she's doing very well in school. My child got all A's and one B. So I'm not complaining on that vibe. You know what I mean? Thank God for that. But
I
thank
know
and
that's
boy,
right.
I said, because I told her from the gate, I would be like Medea at that school. If
You
I got
ain't
to sign
touching my
all these
head.
papers in my name, and I got to put, if I just got my student loan, literally just got my student loans off and had to put them right back on, I will be, hello, up in the classroom with you. I'm not playing.
Yeah, that's wild. But with my sister, they did that, girl. Her name was on them loans, and after they graduated, they had jobs. But then if they was falling off with their payments, girls, they had to come for her. She was pulling money on her 401k to make them Fannie Mae and Fannie Mac payments and shit. I was
And
like,
that's
oh God.
horrible. And that's another thing. By not having something else going on, you going and you go to school, you come out, and these jobs is paying you pennies. Like you
Yeah,
going to, just like you just said, you paying $100,000 to go to school, and you coming out with a job paying $18 an hour, or maybe a good, maybe you might make 20 something dollars and coming out of school. And so it's like, how is you going
maybe
to
20.
live? Maybe, and then you
Maybe.
still got to pay your bill and rent. My daughter was looking at in Atlanta because she was talking about, she was trying to get her place at one point. And when she started showing me the prices of how much rent, $2,200 for a 1 bedroom apartment. I'm just like, so you coming out of school and you even get an apartment, you paying all that kind of money. You ain't paid your utilities yet. You ain't ate yet. You ain't washed. You ain't did nothing yet. And you
Nope.
already broke.
Girl.
Broke.
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
what it's like. You have to, it's like you have to be having so many things going. When people be like, oh, you got so much going. Yes, I gotta have so much going on. Look at I went to the store and bought 6 items the other day and it came up to over $100. 6 items.
You just said that, and that is so true,
Items,
girl.
PJs, and it was over $100 for 6 items. And you know
Wait,
and the only reason why I know the number is because they check the numbers when you when you coming out, and they check the cart and check your receipt and look and counting how many items you got in your cart. I had 6 items and paid over $100.
wait, sis, we went to Costco, and me and my husband, he should have never took me in there hungry. So I was in there going after things and picking up some extra stuff. Girl, we in 2 cases of water and some carb stuff. We did get some meat. We got some meatballs, some chicken breasts, chicken thighs, and some turkey meat. That was all the meat that we had. And we got some carb stuff in 2 cases of water. Girl, we paid 400. We guess how much it's gonna be before we check out. He was guessing 5. I guessed 460. It was $441. Then we went to the Smith so I could get some creamer, and we got something else, some paper plates. It wasn't 5 items. It might have been 6. $102.
Wow.
And I was just shook. And I looked at
Now
my husband. I
you
said,
hear
we
these
don't
prices.
even have kids.
Now listen to what prices you just said for what you got. And now
441
all
and
these people about to not have no food stamps. Well, how they gonna eat? Who got $400 to go to the supermarket?
Come on. And then I just said to him, I said, we don't even have children. We got a dog. That wasn't even getting the dog food. We get the farmer food for the dog. I don't know what that's going to be because he paid that bill
Now
too.
you don't have, you got these people not getting a stamp. Let's just say, just like you said, the one girl, just like you just said, the one girl with all what she said. You said she had like 8 kids.
She had, the one has 8 and the other
and
one
let's
has.
just say, even if you ain't got 8, let's just say you got 2, and you going to the store spending that kind of money, and these people ain't getting no stamps, and they gotta pay rent, and they gotta have electric, and they gotta have water
for the car.
Because I was gas to go to work.
Because my husband don't usually spend like that. When he go, he'll like be shopping by the week, right? But my mindset was, let's get some food, let's stock up the freezer, put some stuff out here in the freezer in case stuff go crazy. Let's just stock up. Girl, that stock up was $4.41, and it wasn't that much.
That's why
it was not that much.
That's why I said times right now, and like I said, the rich, they don't get that because they're not concerned about that. But you have your everyday people, and I'm talking to y'all with these 9 to 5s. These people with these 9 to 5s. You have to think about something else because God forbid something happens to your job. And we talking about spending $100 at the store. We talking about spending $100 on 6 items. 6 items. And you got to feed your family. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do if your job lay you off tomorrow? Let's ask that question. How many of y'all are already starting learning? Let's talk about that. If you got left from, if your job said you got to go tomorrow, what is it that you're going to do? What is it that you have talent in that you can do? Let's talk about it. Put it in the chat. Let me know. What is it that you would do?
Yeah.
What is it? And don't say pastor, because I'm seeing so many people who are starting to get into these churches, and I'm seeing all these different things where they're talking about these people getting all this money at these different churches. And I'm like, that is becoming another thing too.
They said they would become a pastor.
People are starting to open up churches and hustling money, and that is not good. Like, God is looking at y'all, so y'all need to watch that, because that is not the way to go. Like, people is like literally hustling these. Like, I seen a man, they actually went into a church and handcuffed the pastor because he was hustling.
I thought it was AI. That was real.
No, they are really doing this in churches. Like, they are really starting these nonprofits and all these different things and really taking people money. Like, this is not cool. Like, y'all need to think of something else. Like, if you can think of that, let's think about something else. Let's think about something we can use. It's not funny. Like, you sitting there and these people are literally like,
you're gonna get in trouble with Jesus. That's not good.
How you look on Judgment Day, you up at the pearly gates and you talk about, and he looking at you and you looking at him.
You're not getting in.
I don't know what I was thinking about. Like, what?
No.
You can't.
They're not getting in. They're not getting in with that behavior. No, that is horrible. You going to the pits of hell on the slippery slope.
Yes. I'm like, that is horrible.
We gotta hurry up and do a class, Niecy. We got to do a class.
Yes, we do. Because I want to know, ask y'all, how many of y'all are already learning AI or using AI in your business? If you are, drop AI in the comments. Drop AI in the comments. If you are using it already in your business or it's helping you in any kind of way. Drop it in the comments.
I'm a senior citizen and I'm using it. So don't nobody here that's going to hear this replay or hearing this right now have an excuse. Because we all can grow and learn, and this is the time. Yeah,
exactly. Because AI actually is a blessing for small business owners. Because, like you said, it saves time. It can write posts. It can create content. It can handle your books. Basically, can do whatever it seems. Like when I went to that AI event, what was that, a few weeks ago? Yes. She even showed how you can have an assistant, a whole AI assistant. And talking about this, not to go off track. But how about AI going in ChatGPT now? Do you know that they have added different things inside of ChatGPT where, let's just say I go in there and I'll be like, I want to go to, I'm going to just say going home. I'm going to go to Philly. I need you to find me a flight in a hotel room to go to Philly. Now, mind you, I'm talking this. I want you to go inside of ChatGPT, and it found me the cheapest flight and hotel stay for me to go to Philly, all on ChatGPT, because it's now connecting these other ports like Booking.com, Expedia, all of that stuff is now in there. But the key is still having your own business, because those same vendors that's inside of there, even though you may spend whatever it is, you still can get some of that money back. So just throwing it out there, y'all. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
Wow.
Now, how many of y'all trying to get a loan? Did y'all know the other day I was testing this too? You try to get a loan and you don't have an actual accountant. You don't have somebody to do your books. Now, this is not going to work if you have to go, if you're trying to get like a government contract, or if you're trying to get like a big business thing. If you go into like a small company, this will work, but not for big companies, because they sometimes want to see your transactions and they want to see more details. But if you're somebody who have a small business and you go into a small bank, that's not going to ask for that much information. They just want to see a basic P&L. You can actually y'all can actually take your bank account, right? Take it from January, depending on how much they ask you for. If they want to see a year's worth, like let's just say you got the whole, it's 25 now. So let's just say last year they want to see the whole 24. You can go in your bank account, take your transactions from January through December, put it in an Excel spreadsheet, take that Excel spreadsheet and save it. Take that same Excel spreadsheet, put it into ChatGPT and say, turn this into a P&L from January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. Hit the button. It's going to turn it into a profit or loss for you. Now you can take that and go get your loan, or go get your car, or go get whatever it is that you're trying to get. So that's a little tip for y'all. I just gave y'all a little tip.
That is so good. But let me share this. Remember, I'm talking about that, how we can make AI and ChatGPT work for you. I was doing my homework from yesterday for the LB, and it went in here and it laid out my entire launch that I'm going to get ready to do for my community, which is the Hot Flash Mafia. I asked it one question, and look at all of this.
Look at that.
The entire layout for the launch. And then we got down there, it started giving me the flyers, what that could look like. It just kept going. Hey, do you want me to do this? Do you want me to do that? And I kept saying yes. All of this.
Whole printout right there in your hand.
30-day calendar, all of it. And I'm telling you, we all can do this. And that's the point, that I'm going to create a community for all my ladies over 40 to get out there. But the soft launch, it did the work. Now it's me to just execute it.
Right. Okay. That's why I said this AI, I'm telling y'all better not sleep on this. Y'all better say, what's one thing? I just want all of y'all. What's one thing in your business or your job? Even your job. Let's talk about it. What's the thing even in your job that you could automate and make them people give you a raise by you thinking that you did all that? Let's talk about that. How AI can help you even with that. Like, what are you doing at work that you can actually use AI to help your day go a little quicker, even at your job? Not even your business, at your job. What can you do? Let's talk about getting them raises right now. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how we can do that, how you can go in and act like you a genius. And they be like, oh, okay.
And you really are, because you asked it. You set that prompt.
What do you do at work? Are you in customer service? Do you have to answer the phones? Do you need to know what to say to keep your composure because the person is flipping? Guess how you can take that phone? Let me tell you how you can take that phone while you're talking, have the person listening to what they're saying, and then it can turn around and answer that person's response for you. It
that
can
is
tell
so
you exactly
good.
what to say. You can actually have a whole you can ask me some questions and talk to me. I can let chat be running while you're talking, so it can pick up what you're saying. I can hit the button to say, give me a response to what you just said to me. And then I can just read exactly what it is I want to say back to you.
And that's powerful because every time I get off a call with a customer service person, if they've given me great customer service, I ask them, can you connect me with your supervisor?
Right.
Do
And
you
not
have a
only
number?
that, and guess what? Not only that, the chat stays. So if you incorporate your whole conversation in there, you now can turn your chat into bullets. So now you can have
The script.
a whole outline and script off of what y'all talked about. So now if you want to relay that conversation back at another time, now it's saved in your chat. So now you can rename your chat to say conversation with such and such, or let's just say, because sometimes you gotta, matter of fact, let me give you an example. You calling somebody because they made an error on something and you want to get a credit. You call a place and you're like talking to these people. You can put them on speakers. Put them on speaker, have your chat up, and have them talking, like you talking, and you have their name and all that, all getting recorded, all up in there. Putting the date before you even start talking to them. Put your time and date and stuff on it, so you will remember when you talk to this person. Then you go ahead, keep going, let them have all that conversation. You finish that conversation and hit that it recorded everything. So when you got called back because you ain't get your refund that you were supposed to get, and they say, well, who would you talking to? Hold on 1 second. Now you can you the same way how they say these calls is recorded. I just recorded this whole conversation. Not only that, you can use the chat, but guess what? Now all these cell phones now have it too. So now even on your phone, you can hit record on your phone while you're talking to somebody now. And when you hit record on these iPhones and stuff that's out here now, you can record your full conversation and keep that into your phone. So if somebody ever asks, well, who did you speak to? Or what was this and what was that? It keeps the date, it keeps the time, and it keeps the whole conversation right inside your phone. So you can do that on your phone. That's, again, AI. And what is it? All of a hit of a button. All you got to do is be on a phone and hit record at the top of your call, and it will record your entire conversation. Now, it is going to let you know, it is going to let the other person know when you do it on your phone that they are being recorded. It will let them know. Now, if you do it on a computer and you want to be sneaky about it because you don't want them to hear that this call is being, because it's going to say this call is being recorded. So if you don't want the person to hear that, then you can just use the chat on the computer away from your phone because you're going to be on the phone. So you want to use it on like a tablet or a laptop or something like that. So it's catching the whole conversation and just have your phone on speaker. But because if you do it on your phone and you hit record, it's going to let the person know. So if you don't want them to know, you can do it just like that and it record everything.
Oh, that's cool. That is so cool because that's like creating your own CYA folder, your own brand folder.
Backup, especially when you're trying to get, because sometimes these banks and different places, they be quick to pop and take your money. But when it comes time for them to give you that money back when they made an error and take them forever, then they want to, well, who did you talk to? And when did it? I got the whole script. This is exactly what was said. Wow. This is how it went down. So that's another way to get your stuff right on back.
Ooh-wee. Well, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. And I commit to the people that we're going to come back and it's time for us to do a mini course. Yes. Because that way we're going to get everybody started. Like you say, we're sharing stuff right now to get the interest and let them know we're real. And then we're going to come back with the mini course. Right. Because this got to happen now. If not now, when?
Exactly. So y'all, just to close it out, because I know we've been on here for a good hour now. So listen, y'all, the world is changing fast, but that's okay. Every time something shifts, there's space for new opportunities. So don't let fear keep you still. Let knowledge keep you moving. And we hope that tonight's conversation got y'all talking, got y'all thinking, not scared, but just ready. Because if you learned something today, I want y'all to drop it in the chat and say you learned. Tell me what you learned, because I want to hear from y'all, because this information here is something that can truly help y'all. Like, we're really trying to give y'all something that can help you within your business. And like I said, even in your job, you can use it either way. So again, use this information. Let it be known. Stay following us, because we're going to come back on here and give y'all the gems, the real serious gems on another time. We actually going to market that. So we're going to actually have that out way in advance so y'all can see it keep showing up on y'all timeline, so y'all will know when we coming on, so y'all can go ahead and click and be in, and we can be all on together doing it together, so y'all can learn some good gems and for free. How many people giving y'all some gems for free? So y'all see y'all again and again, like we always say. Thank y'all for watching, and remember, anything you do, you can do it as long as you put your mind to it. So see y'all next Thursday. Keep growing, keep learning, and keep talking it out together. Have a good one, y'all.